Welcome to Asia 66 million years ago in the late Cretaceous period. You can see that the herbivores are moving in herd. Hey. Today we'll be learning about one dinosaur in the late Cretaceous era, the theizinosaurs. Also known as the sight lizard. The herd is looking for water. In a desert era, then there was no water. So the theizinosaurs took the lead to find the water. While the others follow him. It's a long journey for the sight lizard and the others. But the therizinosaurs is worried for the herd that they won't find water. But the therizinosaurus knows he wouldn't give up until they find some water. So the herd walks. With the therizinosaurus. Until they found water. The therizinosaurus was happy. Then he helped find the water. And then, once they found the water, they heard a noise. The herbivores are starting worried. They're afraid that something might show up. So, until one predator came out. The Tarbosaurus. Look, and they followed the herbivores. He was not happy. The Tarbosaurus is also known as the alarming lizard. But the herbivores want to stay where the water is. But then the Tarbosaurus was not happy. The theizinosaurs told the others to stay back. Wow, he fight. The good thing the water was shallow, so they couldn't drown in it. While the Tarbosaurus and the theizinosaurs went into a fight. But first, before the fight, the Tarbosaurus let out a mighty roar to tell the therizino and the other herbivores to get off his area before he get a taste of what happened next. The therizinosaur used his claw. The therizinosaurus grabbed it. When the Tarbosaurus grabbed the therizinosaurus by his neck and bit it. The herbivores are starting to worry that the therizinosaurus, their pack leader, will lose to a fight. But then the therizinosaurus until the Tarbosaurus knocked down the therizinosaurus and he went into a mighty roar. The therizinosaurus and the herbivores had to move. The Tarbosaurus took a little nap, but the therizinosaurus was sad. He's wondering why his herd wasn't following him. The Tarbosaurus was too close to move an inch. So the therizinosaurus didn't want to watch, but as the Tarbosaurus ate the Sino and the Gallimimus right off, the therizinosaurus was on his own. The therizinosaurus was sad that his herd had died. He didn't want none of this to happen. All he could think about that the Tarbosaurus ate his herd for dinner. The therizinosaurus took a nap. And while that, the pack hunters, known as velociraptors, arrived. With their aggressive roar. They're chatting, saying that they spotted a meat ahead. So And the other velociraptors were counting on the alpha and the beta to bring food. And before the alpha took a bite, the theizinosaurs woke up. He did not know why there were pack hunters in front of his area. So the beta pounced on the therizinosaur, but the therizinosaurus took him off. The therizinosaurus used his long claw to scratch the alpha. And the alpha wasn't happy. While it was up to the therizinosaurus and the alpha raptor to fight, while the other one is trying to get up to help. But the beta raptor didn't like how the therizinosaurus had the long claw. The raptor let out another roar, telling the therizinosaurus to move because he was in their way. The therizinosaurus didn't want to move. The therizinosaurus had to use his strength to fight the raptors so he can keep on living. While the raptor pounced on his head, scratched his eye. The therizinosaur let a cry for help, but he just realized that his herd, wasn't there. While the raptors were defeated, the therizinosaurus knew he had to get revenge on that Tarbosaurus. But when he goes back, his past will be remembered. Ding! So while the therizinosaurus went back to the watering hole or the swamp, apparently, thank goodness, his herd didn't die. Even though the therizinosaurus thought he did, he's just glad that they're alive but hurt. But the Tarbosaurus didn't want to fight, so he ran away. The therizinosaurus asked his herd and see if they were okay. The Sino took off running, so did the Gallimimus. And he was just glad everything was okay. The therizinosaurus was wondering why they were moving. They could have kept staying by the waterfall so they could get water. But the therizinosaurus realized that He didn't want to deal with the alarming lizard Tarbosaurus anymore, but he knew he had to once again. Wow. Well, the Sino and the Gallimimus were running. The theizinosaurs went back, and then he remembered the place where they're going was the same place where they were fighting the raptors. The Sino went to sleep. Thanks to the theizinosaurs, they took over the Velociraptor area. And thank goodness that the diet of a therizinosaurus was an omnivore, so he was eating the velociraptors. Well, they went to sleep. Another pack came out. This time, it was the other velociraptors. And we were wondering, why do they hunt at night? Maybe because they were pretending, maybe because we think that maybe they could have been sneaky. Well, the Sino and the Gallimimus and the therizinosaurus was sleeping. Another pack came out to fight. The therizinosaurus can hear. He was surprised that there's more raptors. And the therizinosaurus has to fight them. But he wants to do it without waking the herd. So, the therizinosaurus did his call. But the raptors weren't having it. They didn't want to get down. They wanted to get their nest back while they moved. They were surprised that the therizinosaurus was a big creature. But they knew if they work in a pack, they could take down any creatures. But they didn't know that the therizinosaurus was an omnivore. And while he pounced on the therizinosaurus just shook. And he ate the raptors. The raptors were mad. And he used his claw. Thank goodness that did not wake the herd up. But before it was over, the theizinosaurus knew he had to get revenge on that alarming lizard. So the theizinosaurus went back to the swamp. And he was surprised that the Tarbosaurus was already there. This was the final fight between the theizinosaurus and the Tarbosaurus. The Tarbosaurus let out a mighty roar again. That could wake the whole island of the late Cretaceous dinosaurs up. But the theizinosaurus knew he couldn't get up. Though he was aggressive, he wants their own home back that the Tarbosaurus took over. Before the theizinosaurus, he knew what had to be done. 2 scratches on the Tarbosaurus' face. The Tarbosaurus had 2 scars on him. And then the Tarbosaurus just bit the theizinosaurus neck. And he kept missing because of that. And then, but he knew what had to be done. Before that, the theizinosaurus knew he could win this against the mighty lizard, Tarbosaurus. The Tarbosaurus doesn't want his territory taken, so he knew. And then he bit the theizinosaurus' head. The theizinosaurus. And then while the T-Rex, the Tarbosaurus was running, the Tarbosaurus was defeated by the scythe lizard, theizinosaurus. And before he would claim his home, he was dead. He took a bite out of the Tarbosaurus. And that's how he reclaimed his own territory back. He gave out a mighty roar. Won the fight against the alarming lizard. With the 2 raptors defeated, the Sino was wondering where his leader was. And then he saw that his leader, Therizinosaurus, was at the swamp. So the Gallimimus and the Therizinosaurus ran. They were surprised that the Therizinosaurus took down the Tarbo. And then the Therizinosaurus and the other herbivores of the herd were happy that the Therizinosaurus reclaimed their territory.